There comes a moment in life when people try to put you in a box. They say, "You're too young, you don't understand," or "You're too old, it's too late." And if you're not careful, you start to believe them. You start to think time has already passed you by. But let me tell you something that will shake you away. Age is just a number. It's not a barrier, it's not a chain, and it's not a rule written in stone. Age is nothing but the excuse people use when they've lost their fire. Think about it. The world is filled with people who started too early and failed, and people who started too late and still conquered. Age never decided their destiny. Discipline, hunger, and belief did. Your soul doesn't have an expiration date. Your vision doesn't come with a timeline. The only thing that matters is how badly you want it, and how relentlessly you're willing to chase it. Don't let the calendar dictate your greatness. Don't let the years behind you decide the years ahead of you. Whether you're 16 or 60, the power to change your life starts now. Age never limits ambition. Mindset does. People love to point at the number of candles on their birthday cake as if that defines what they can or cannot do. They convince themselves that the moment they hit a certain age, they should stop dreaming, stop taking risks, stop building, and simply accept mediocrity. But that is not the truth. The truth is that ambition has no clock, and success has no expiration date. The only chains that exist are the ones inside your head. If you tell yourself you're too young to lead, too old to start, too late to win, then you've already accepted defeat before even stepping into the arena. Your mindset is the master key, the ultimate weapon, and the one thing that can make you unstoppable regardless of how many years you've walked this earth. Think about the difference between a person who says, "I'm 18, I don't have enough experience," and another who says, "I'm 18, and I've got nothing to lose, I'm going all in." The age is the same, but the outcomes are worlds apart, and that's because of the mindset. One person chains themselves with doubt, while the other fuels themselves with ambition. The same thing happens with someone at 50. One person says, "It's too late for me, my time has passed," while another says, "I've spent 50 years learning, and now I'll use every ounce of wisdom and energy to dominate." Again, same age, but opposite results. Life doesn't reward the number of years you've lived. It rewards the courage you've shown, the action you've taken, and the fire you've kept alive inside your chest. The greatest enemy you will ever fight isn't the ticking clock, it's the voice inside your head that whispers you can't. That voice feeds on fear, on regret, and on the lies society tells you about when you should succeed. People will always try to impose their own limitations on you. They'll say, "You're too young to know better," or "You're too old to keep chasing dreams." But understand this, those words are nothing more than reflections of their own insecurities. They gave up, so they want you to give up too. They accepted the prison of time, so they want you to sit in the same cell. Your job is to break free, to prove with your actions that ambition isn't bound by the years on a calendar. History is filled with people who shattered the illusion of age. Some built empires before they were even old enough to buy a drink, and others became legends when the world thought they should be slowing down. What they all had in common was not their age, but their mentality. They refused to let numbers dictate what they could achieve. They replaced doubt with discipline, fear with fire, and hesitation with hunger. That mindset, not their age, was the deciding factor. It's proof that if you are alive, breathing, and willing to fight, you're not too early, you're not too late. You're exactly on time for your destiny. Mindset is the soil where ambition grows. And if that soil is poisoned with excuses, nothing great will ever bloom. Age-based excuses are the most common poison of them all. I'm too young, nobody will listen to me. I'm too old, nobody will care what I do. These are lies you feed yourself to avoid responsibility, because responsibility is heavy, and chasing ambition means carrying weight. But when your mindset shifts, excuses no longer stand a chance. You start to realize that youth gives you energy and age gives you wisdom, and both are weapons if you know how to use them. What kills people isn't the lack of years, it's the lack of courage to use what they already have. Every time you tell yourself age is a barrier, you're handing over your power to something you cannot control. You cannot stop the calendar from flipping, you cannot stop the years from passing, but you can stop yourself from surrendering to them. That is why mindset is everything. A strong mind takes what it has and multiplies it. A weak mind complains about what it doesn't have and stays stuck forever. The real question isn't how old you are. It's how willing you are to push, to fight, to grind, and to refuse to let excuses bury your ambition. That's why one person at 25 can already feel dead inside, while another at 70 feels like they're just getting started. It's not age, it's mindset. When you understand that age is irrelevant, you begin to take life into your own hands. You stop waiting for permission, and you stop apologizing for wanting more. The young stop waiting for experience to magically appear, and the old stop waiting for time to magically rewind. Instead, you focus on building today, pushing today, becoming unbreakable today. And as you keep stacking these days, you'll realize that life was never about how many years you had. It was about what you did with the ones you were given. Every action you take is proof that ambition belongs to the brave, not to a number. The best time to start is always now. People destroy their own dreams because they keep waiting for some perfect moment that doesn't exist. They say, "I'll start when I'm ready," or "I'll start when the timing feels right." But the truth is that waiting for the stars to align is nothing more than an excuse dressed up as patience. The world doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards action. Every second you delay is a second you'll never get back. Every day you postpone is a day that could have moved you closer to the life you want. The harsh reality is that if you keep waiting for tomorrow, you'll eventually run out of tomorrows. There is only one time that has ever mattered, and that time is right now. The door is open in this very moment. You either walk through it or you watch it close forever. When you tell yourself that you'll begin when the conditions are better, you are lying to yourself. Conditions are never perfect. There will always be obstacles, distractions, and reasons to hold back. If you're young, you'll think you lack experience. If you're older, you'll think you lack time. If you're broke, you'll say you need money first. If you're busy, you'll say you need freedom first. But here's the truth. Those who win never wait for conditions, they create them. The best fighters didn't train when life was easy, they trained in chaos. The best leaders didn't rise in comfort, they rose in crisis. Waiting kills more dreams than failure ever could, because waiting convinces you that tomorrow is guaranteed when it never is. Think about how many people go to bed every night with dreams in their heads, but wake up every morning and repeat the same routine. They convince themselves they'll start chasing that dream next week, next month, or next year. But life doesn't work like that. Life rewards urgency. Life rewards those who take messy action instead of waiting for clean perfection. The world doesn't need more thinkers. It needs doers. The people who make history aren't the ones who waited until they felt ready. They're the ones who jumped when they were terrified, acted when they were unprepared, and figured it out along the way. That's why the best time to start will never be tomorrow. It's always now. Procrastination is the most dangerous addiction in the world. It gives you the illusion of comfort while slowly stealing your future. You tell yourself, "I'll do it later," and for a moment you feel relieved. But what you don't realize is that every time you say later, you're robbing yourself of opportunity. Later becomes next week, next month, and before you know it, years are gone. The most painful words in life are "I should have." Regret is the tax you pay for delaying action. If you want to live without regret, you must act without delay. Fear will always be there, doubt will always be there, but they don't go away by waiting. They go away by moving. Action kills fear and hesitation feeds it. Starting now doesn't mean you'll be perfect. It means you'll be growing. Too many people want the reward without the process. They want the results without the risk. But greatness doesn't come from planning endlessly. It comes from stepping into the fire and learning as you go. The person who starts now, even if they make mistakes, will always be ahead of the person who keeps waiting for everything to be flawless. Life is a battlefield, and every day you hesitate, someone else is taking your place, building their future while you're still planning yours. The clock never stops ticking. Time doesn't pause because you're uncertain. While you wait, someone else is working. While you hesitate, someone else is building. And by the time you finally decide to act, the opportunity will be gone. Look at the world around you. Every success story started with a decision. Not with money, not with luck, not with connections, but with the decision to begin. The person who became fit didn't wait until they felt strong. They started weak. The entrepreneur who built a business empire didn't wait until they had millions. They started broke. The artist who inspired the world didn't wait until they were confident. They started scared. What separates winners from the rest is not talent, not age, not luck, it's action. The decision to start when everyone else is waiting is what builds momentum, and momentum is what builds empires. That's why now is powerful, because now is real, now is alive, now is the only time you can control. Waiting for the right time is the same as waiting for permission. You want life to give you a green light, but life never does. The light will always stay red unless you decide to move anyway. People around you will tell you to slow down, to wait, to be cautious, but those voices are the sound of mediocrity. The world belongs to those who move while others freeze. You will never feel fully ready, and that's exactly why you must begin. Action builds readiness. Action builds confidence. Action builds clarity. You don't need to know everything before you start. You just need to start, and the path will reveal itself as you move. The greatest tragedy is not failing. The greatest tragedy is never trying. When you finally grasp the power of starting now, life changes. Every hesitation turns into execution. Every excuse turns into energy. Every fear turns into fuel. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, and you realize the perfect moment was always the moment you're in right now. If you want to change your body, start today. If you want to build your business, start today. If you want to write your story, start today. You don't need a Monday, a new year, or the right age. You need the courage to act today. Because at the end of your life, you won't remember the days you waited. You'll only remember the days you acted. And the best day to act is always the one staring you in the face today. At the end of the day, life is not measured by the years on a calendar, but by the fire you carry in your heart and the actions you take while you are alive. Age is just a number, and waiting for the perfect time is nothing more than a trap that steals dreams. The truth is simple. The only thing that limits you is the mind that you choose to live with and the courage you decide to act on. Whether you are at the beginning of your journey or deep into it, the power to change, grow, and achieve has always been in your hands. Every excuse tied to age, every hesitation tied to fear, is just another barrier you've built for yourself. Tear those walls down. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Start now, because the only time that belongs to you is this very moment, and what you do with it defines everything that comes next. Thank you for giving your time and energy to listen to these words. I hope they light a fire inside you that no one can put out. Go out there, take action, live with discipline, and prove to the world, and to yourself, that age will never control your destiny. The best time is now, and the best version of you is waiting to be unleashed. God bless you, stay strong, and never stop fighting for the life you deserve.